Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is me, once again, screaming into the void of the internet. You know, I saw something on Instagram about, capitalisms and socialisms and all of the isms, let's just say that, right? And they were, one of these capitalist cucks trying to defend capitalism to a T and stuff like that. And listen, let me make something very clear, because I always say this, the moment that someone hears that you are not for the side that they like, they are automatically assuming that, you're for the side that they don't like. Someone just had that conversation with me when I made that, lore video in Elden Ring. But I think a lot of times it's like a bait, because they want to see where you stand, and if you don't tell them objectively where you stand, then they try and pick at you and find out, because they want to say, oh, see, I knew you were, a conservacuck or socialist or communist or whatever. But the reason why I'm trying to bring this up is simple, right? It's because this person, and if I can, I'll try and find it, but, my friend sent it to me and stuff like that, and trying to find it is going to be tough, because it's like in an ocean of memes, so if I can find it, I can find it. If I can't, I can't, whatever. It's not like this content's going to go anywhere. But the point that I'm making is this. This guy was literally just sucking, and I mean sucking, capitalism off, to no end. He was essentially saying that, it's damn near perfect and stuff like that. And people kind of started laying into him. And they didn't lay into him in the manner that he wanted. You see what I'm saying? He didn't realize that, oh, well, so everyone who's laying into me is not, a capitalist. They're obviously a communist. No. They just said, hey, listen, if capitalism's so great, then why is your freaking economy going to hell? Because remember, it's not like, it's only ever been Democrats in control of the country. You've had instances where it's been Republicans, and it still was going to hell. And even then, just because someone's a Republican doesn't mean that they freaking believe in the same crap. Because let me tell you what people usually see capitalism as. They think that there is some kind of ideal world where you can be your own business owner and stuff like that, and you can, rise above through your hard labor. But if that was really the case, then why do you need all of these stupid things where you have to have the government in your life? You need the government in your life for absolutely freaking everything. The government controls, if you wanted to open a business, you have to, have, depending on what it is, some kind of business license. I'm not going to pretend like I know. I haven't studied business since when, dude? Probably, 2019, so there might be tons of stuff, because I did study business for, 2 years, and it was miserable. I don't know how people do it, but I can't. I can't be that much of an arsehole to other people and lie about the stuff that they need. I can't. But the government just essentially owns every aspect of it. If you have a business, you need to pay them a certain amount of money and stuff like that. And realistically speaking, businesses don't like competition, which is funny, because a lot of people will say, you little communist bastards, because they automatically, again, assume that you're against capitalism, so you just think that everyone should be equal or something like that. So they try and say, oh, you jackarses don't understand that, the natural state of nature is competition. I'm like, yeah, but let me tell you something. Competition in nature is freaking brutal. Capitalists will sit around here and defend the fact that, okay, I'm effing you over, but you can't do something to me, which essentially goes against nature. You see, in nature, if some bastard is screwing with you, let's say that it's birds, right, and they're trying to build a nest to impress a female, this guy's going to steal material from the other male, and if he gets caught, they're going to fight. These cocksuckers are essentially stealing material, air quotes, it's not actual material, it's things that stop you from, having the ability to get very far in your business, because corporate entities, right? They buy all of the land, they buy all of the storefronts, they buy all of the stuff, and they buy all of these locations, and they put it everywhere, so that you're usually just riddled, with the corporate entity rather than, the small business owner. And they're trying to tell you that, well, you also can't do anything to us because we're a corporation, and, it's illegal for you to fight back. So I don't know why people try and make it seem as though, oh, the natural state is to compete, when society has directly done everything within their power to essentially declaw you from actually competing the way that nature wants you to compete. Because if we compete the way that nature wants you to compete, corporate entities would get fucked up. And let's just be real. They'd be getting effed up. Because we would say, oh, hold up, this guy is the biggest person on the sea, let's jump him. A lot of animals will do that. They say, hey, they've got the most stuff, and it's not going to be fair for everyone else, so let's go ahead and excommunicate him and take his stuff. If you really want us to compete like animals, it's not going to be pretty, is what I'm saying. But what people were essentially trying to convince to this idiot is this, and I'm going to talk about it in, like, my next point, which is, like, the idealism of the human world and the idealism of the human brain, and how it's basically impossible for you to be... You cannot have an idealistic world with human freedom, and I'm going to tell you what I mean by this. All right, but let me just first explain what I'm trying to say. They were saying, I don't understand how this jackass cannot understand that human corruption is inherent, because corruption in nature is inherent. You know, like, people are going to screw each other over. A lot of people talk about capitalism, but they don't talk about the fact that once somebody gets to the top, the first thing that they do is kick the freaking ladder from under them so that no one else can. Or, even if they don't, they just add a whole bunch more steps to that ladder, you know, and make it even taller. Like, the place that they got on the top, they extend the building's roof, and they make the ladder even taller. That's what they do. Because people are honestly under the impression that you can regulate someone's corruption away. There is no idealistic government. There is no ism that's going to save you from the fact that all humans, at the end of the day, are going to try and F each other over. And I include myself in that, you know. I would love not to, but at the same time, you know, like, if there's a choice between you and someone else, you have to prioritize yourself. Unless you know that person, unless they have some kind of connection to you, you have to prioritize yourself. But like I said, I would never do it to the extent that these freaking corporate bastards do it, where they're, like, just essentially screwing everyone over. Oh, well, it's only fair that I, you know, make the most money because I'm some CEO and I work harder. Yeah, bull crap. CEOs don't work nearly as hard as the average freaking worker. They'll try and tell you all day that, you know, that's not true. But listen, I have been a part of business places. I've met, like, people who are up there, air quotes, in business. And I'm going to tell you something right now. They have one little secretary or assistant or whatever, and they're just a freaking errand boy. They're the ones doing all the work. This cocksucker might just be talking on a phone, and that's all he's doing. And he's not even really... A lot of times, they're not even talking to, you know, like, say, a customer or, like, you know, someone important. Because the moment that someone important actually comes in that office, oh, then they try and act like they were busy. They try... Listen, I don't understand why people act like, you know, once someone grows up into an adult, that the childish, like, sneaky behaviors where, you know, you're sweeping crap under the bed so that, you know, your mom says, hey, did you clean your room? Like, that crap still exists. Like, these cocksuckers are still lazy. They're still oafs. And all they really do is just have their underlings do all the work that they're supposed to be doing. There is no idealistic world where, if you're under communism, if you're under capitalism, if you're under socialism, all of the problems are going to go away. Like, you can't regulate human corruption. Because the fact of the matter is, human corruption is inherent. It's ingrained in people. They're going to screw each other over. They're going to kick a ladder from under them. And if the ladder stays, like I said, they're just going to raise the building and extend the ladder. And then you have to put in, you know, 8 times as much effort to climb that ladder as they did. It's just the truth. Because once they're in that position, they like to say, hey, listen, man, it took me forever to get here. So I don't want anyone to, like, you know, get to where I got to, especially that quickly. It is what it is. It's just the nature of people, you know?